Katie stepped onto the porch and laced up her sneakers. In the Northeast, mid-August, dawn came at 5:30 a.m. Over the mountains, a smattering of salmon-tinged clouds heralded the sun. She lunged to stretch out her calves, bent forward to loosen her thighs and lower back. Today's target heart rate was 122. Target heart rate was 220 minus her age, 33, multiplied by 65%, since jogging ideally increased a person's heart rate by that amount. Or so Runner's World had told her. She left the house, walking first. Her sneakers were springy and new, ready to launch her forward. She began her run, falling into her rhythm, feeling fit. Running was one of life's secret pleasures. She'd run rain or shine, only warned off if the thunder was too close, or if there was lightning. This morning was pristine, redolent of pine and mown grass, alive with birdsong. The air was damp from a cool night, a nice change from the recent heat wave. She turned down Everett Road, headed into Loop 3, tuned into the beating of her heart. Always her heart, but then also this morning, memories of her mother. There were 3 loops Katie alternated. Loop 1 was the shortest and stuck close to the small town. Loop 2 widened out a bit and featured a steep hill. 3 was the longest run. All of the loops wound up passing Footbridge Park, her way back home. As her muscles warmed and her stride lengthened, her thoughts swung from her mother to David, her husband, and to the rest of her family. There was always gossip in the family, usually about Glow's financial troubles. But the latest gossip seemed to be focused on Katie, and whether or not she was going to get around to having a baby. Her stepmother, who had no biological children of her own, thought that 33 was heading into high-risk pregnancy territory. Her sister just wanted to be an aunt. No one knew that Katie and David had actually been trying for months. Her mind cleared the further she ran, thoughts dropping away at last. She stayed focused on her heart and imagined it doing its work. The sun now painted a yellow smear above the rolling horizon, and she ran toward it, picking up a little more speed, starting to break a sweat. When she reached the park, she saw a vehicle alongside the road, a white minivan. She slowed down a bit, staring at it from a distance. Seeing vehicles at the park wasn't unusual. Plenty of people who worked in town drove over to take their lunches while gazing at the river, sipping coffee from paper cups. But it was only 6 a.m, too early even for breakfast. She transitioned from jogging to walking and took her pulse while she watched the vehicle, wondering if it belonged to someone local. She thought maybe she'd seen one like it recently, parked at the grocery store. It was something. When you'd been in a small town for a while, you came to recognize everyone's car. Just maybe not this one. Yet. Her pulse was at 128. Not bad. Pretty close. The road dead-ended at the footbridge spanning the river. She continued walking toward the bridge, keeping an eye on the minivan. It didn't look like it had been parked there overnight. No dew covering it. And she thought she caught a faint scent of exhaust in the air, like it had only just recently arrived. Katie glanced behind her. The only other way home was to run the loop backward, but the thought of doing that, of turning around because of some minivan sitting by the quaint little park making her nervous, seemed irrational. She blamed Facebook for filling her feed with stories about women attacked while jogging and clowns lurking in the woods, or news sites like CNN with their gossipy, sensational reporting. She longed for a headline which read, "Despite recent crimes assholes have committed, women are still 99.9% safe going for a run."